Hey guys, my name is Skeeter, and today I am going to show you how to do a space painting. Let's get it!
You're in my head. We're under pressure. We're sinking deep. Like stormy.
Alright, so first things first, guys. We have we have our cardstock here. It's just a simple um, white cardstock here. So when you're thinking about space, you're thinking about usually space is dark, but different perspectives and different feels and different things like that, and maybe even some different pictures we may have seen from spaces of like galaxies and different things like that. There's actually a lot of color that goes on. There's a lot that actually goes on in space that we don't really um, get to see a lot. And now, one thing when it comes to painting space themes is that there's really no right or wrong way to do this at all. Like, there's no right or wrong way to paint a space theme because really it's all made up. Especially when you get into um, floating galaxies and, well, not galaxies but floating um, islands and different things like that. But usually any space theme that you are going to paint, especially like if you have a galaxy or a planet as your main focus, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. So first things first, we have our protection here. We have our glove and we have our respirator. You guys can't see my respirator. It's on. You saw it earlier in the introduction. We have that. Spray paint can be very toxic and noxious and very bad for your lungs. So please, you guys, and if you guys are doing this, please use a respirator face mask. You can find them on Amazon. You can pretty much find them anywhere, your local hardware store, anywhere. You can find them pretty much anywhere. Use one. If you don't necessarily have one, you can always paint outside. In a very, outside is very well ventilated. If you just so happen to not have one, you have to paint inside. Make sure you just use a lot of ventilation because you don't want this stuff to get into your lungs. You don't want that. You don't want this getting into your lungs. You don't want it to cause you problems, down the line. So I'm thinking for this particular painting, I think we're going to do something similar to my last video. I noticed in that video, as you guys can see, although it was just practice, that particular video, there were some things that I did in that video, and they were done purposefully. And they were done purposely for this particular video. It was like a build up to this particular video. So we're gonna talk about a few different techniques that we're gonna do. We're gonna have a planet in here somewhere, and we're gonna have a lot of color in here, different things, and we're gonna talk about just a few different ways to actually bring a painting to life when it comes to space things. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to use a stencil to make my planet. You guys saw that stencil in the last video, part of it anyway. Saw that in that last video, and if I can actually find the one that I actually use, that would be great. I put it up. Painting a planet, you can do when you're starting a planet, you can do a planet a million and one different ways, right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. Whatever works best for you. Me in particular, I have a stencil that I cut out. This is my stencil here for my planet. It's very convenient for me. It's very easy. You can also use things. You can also use things like this. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I don't even know how much it was, but I got it at Hobby Lobby. As you see, I've used it for planets. It's slightly smaller than this, but if you need a little bit bigger, you can go something a little bit bigger. You can use like a different type of bowl or something like that. And you can get these little foam posit things like in many different sizes. This here is just really for the outline of our planet. So when we're first starting, you want to look at, okay, where exactly is your main focus going to be? That's going to be the thing that you really want to figure out first when you're starting your painting. You want to figure out where your main focus is going to be. And I think I'm going to go along the same lines of my last painting that I did, the practice one, just so that we can sort of stay in some, sort of guideline here. So I think I'm going to have it back over in here again, off in this corner, just like that. Just like that painting, I think my light source is going to be over in here, in this area somewhere. I think it's going to come over here, and we might just go with the same, sort of look and feel without the floating islands, just so that this is very beginner friendly for you guys. Now, I work with this particular part of my stencil a lot because simply it's very easy. You can make so many different types of planets with just this one part of the stencil. This is part of an 8-layer stencil that I made. If you guys would like that, let me know. I can get that together for you and have a link for you guys to download, and you can practice with it if you like. Many different parts of it. There's this part. I also have this part, and then I also have this. This other little part that cut out of it. It's a bunch of different layers, right? So we're gonna start. I'm gonna put my mask on. You guys are gonna hear my voice change a little bit because I've got this respirator on. We're about to start messing with some of this paint here. All right. First thing, let me grab a cap. Let's grab a couple caps actually, because I know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna grab a couple of these caps out of here, and they're just not good. So you don't have to think too much, into this. You don't have to put a whole lot of thought in it. But there's just, some things that you have to think about. These are light sources. You definitely got to think about where your light sources are going to be, where your light's coming from, what is in light, what isn't in light, what's going to hit, what's not going to hit. You got to think about those things. So first, we have our stencil here, and we're just going to get the outline of where we're going to put this particular planet. So my focus is really here in the center, but there's going to be this, so there's going to be at least like 2 or 3 different focal points. So I'm going to lay out the outline of my planets, and maybe I'm going to have 2 planets. Maybe I'm going to have one here up in the corner, and maybe I'm going to have like one in this particular area here. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my outline. And what we're going to do, we're not going to do anything super heavy, not heavy layering paint, anything like that. We're really just getting the outline and getting the basic shape of where we're going to put our placement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black and I'm going to go through just like that. Make sure I get, and then there we go. That is there. So we got that there. That's already pretty cool. And I'm going to teach you guys also how to get these sort of beautiful texture. That could also be a moon right there. So my other planet, let's do like a half planet right in this area here. Just like a half planet here. And for this part, I'm just gonna hold this down. Yep, gonna hold it down here. Again, very lightly, very lightly. Now, we gotta think about, okay, what's going to be what our planet's gonna be? What type of planet do we want to do? I'm thinking for this one, we can do some sort of red giant. It's got a lot of orange and red and different things like that. And then this one, let's do something along the lines of like a water planet over on this one here. So let's start with this one. And again, I got my little stencil here. You can do a ton of different types of planets, different shapes, different textures, with just this piece right here. And that's what we're going to illustrate for you guys here today. And we're just going to lay down some very base foundational colors for this. I'm going to use this Prometheus orange for the base for that one. And I'm just going to go in lightly here with this very lightly. Right now, we're not worried about any overspray. We're not worried about any of that type of stuff. We're just going to layer in some of our color. We're not worried about any overspray right now because it's going to get covered, anything like that. And we're just going to layer this in, fill it in some of that white there. right? That's what we're doing. Just filling in some white space. And you can see this texture here starting to build up, starting to come up. And all I'm doing is I'm literally just turning this stencil a bunch of different ways. And I'm just taking my Prometheus orange and I'm just lightly spraying. It's getting me some good foundation for how I want this planet to look. And you can see how this is coming along where you can get so many different planets out of this. So now I'm going to relay it again, and now I'm going to go for let's do some yellow. Because again, this is going to be like a fire type of planet, right? So I'm going to lay some yellow in here. Very, very light. See how it's coming along right there? And again, the trick here is we're just bursting. We're going very lightly. We're not covering every little part that has, that has a space. We're just hitting certain parts, just like that. Some parts we're going to go a little darker, a little heavier. Some are going to be a little. Now again, I'm coming back, layering it back down. Coming back with my Prometheus orange, layering it back on that some more. Boom. Getting some more of that fire back there. Now I'm going to take my red. This is going to be like a vivid. I'm going to take this red here, same thing. Now I'm going to start layering of some of this. Some spots are going to be heavy. We're going to go. Some we're going to go lighter. Same. So now you see how this is starting to build just like this. Beautiful. Beautiful red. And the reason why I started with black here is there's going to be some, some burnt parts, right? We're doing like a fire planet, right? So let's add some more of this red around. Go a little bit heavier. So let's cover that part completely. We're going to cover this. Let's say this layer, we're going to cover completely with the red, with this particular shape. Yep, let's cover that. Now, let's give that a little bit of time to actually dry, because we put, some multiple different colors. And so let's start working on this water planet that we got going on here. And so this one, instead of leaving this base black, I'm actually going to spray a little bit of blue right in this area, just to give us some a little bit more of a area to work with. So I'm just going to take this blue, spray some of this blue right in here, just like that. Again, we're not worried about any overspray. We're not worried about any of that right now, because we're going to cover it. I'm going to come back with this, with my stencil. I'm going to lay that down, and I'm going to grab another blue here. Got a good stick. And let's say like we're doing a water planet with this one. So let's add a little bit of green in here. I know I got a good green so I don't have to open that one yet. Let's go with a teal green. I can't really tell what color green this is, but it's a very light green. I'll show you guys the color of it real quick. It's about that color, right? So we're gonna go over here, same thing that we did over there. We're just gonna start lightly layering in. Just very lightly layering in, right? Got that there. Boom. Let's switch around. Let's layer in some more of that green. Let's flip it back around. And now, I actually want a bigger chunk over in this area. Yeah, bigger chunk. Let's go back in with some blue. And again, some areas we just lightly hit. Some areas we go a little bit heavier on. Boom. We got that there. Let's flip back around. Let's do something a little interesting, because again, this is space. Let's layer in some of that Prometheus orange. Let's give it some sort of orangey sort of glow here. Boom, layer that there. And right here, all we're doing is we're just trying to gather and garner and just make some texture. Another thing, another interesting thing, it's a water planet. Let's do a little bit of pink. Throw some pink in there. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. We're gonna flip back around again. Actually, let's go like this. Go like that. And now, let's go back in with some more of that blue. Go back in with blue. And a lot of times, I like to layer. I like to do 2 layers of the colors, like right here. So I just played that blue down. So then I come back, and some of these spots I'm gonna hit with some of that green, just to give them some, just to give it some interest, And now this layer is dry. This layer should be pretty dry. So now, both of these are pretty good. I think I'm going to hit this with a little bit more blue. I'm going to hit this with just a little bit more blue right in there. Let's see. Right in there. Just that with a little bit more blue. There we go.
So now we've got our 2 planets, and they're almost done. And I say almost because we still got to do our background. So let's work on our background before we do any more to this, right? So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna take this, lay that over there. I don't have another cutout to lay over this. So you know what? This could actually work. So let's just leave that there. So we don't mess up all of our, the rest of what we got. So now we're gonna start working on that back. Now again, this is where your creativity comes in. Space, there's no right or wrong when it comes to space. There's no right or wrong. It's just how you feel. So because we have this overspray here, why we didn't worry about it, these are gonna sort of act like our sort of outer glow for our plan. Because maybe there's a light source here that's illuminated. So we're gonna start going in with some of this black here. We're just gonna throw that down. And I'm finding my distance, getting a good cloudy, sort of misty feel. This cap is actually a little bit too fat for what I'm trying. We're not too close here. We're not very close right there. We're just back. We're back here, doing just like this. We're coming around, and we're just doing this. I like to spray, with movements like this. That helps me to control. My can. All right. So now we got that. We got it sort of separated, and we got these auras coming around, right? So this one here, again, our light source is coming from here. So this part of the aura, I'm gonna come back with it. That like that, and let's say that part, we hit that with some more. Now, because it's space, we're gonna add some more color in here. I'm gonna boom, 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 boom. And you guys can't really see what I just did there, but what I did was, boom. I'm doing a hit like that. I'm not very close, so you guys can see that. I'm not very close. I'm not going really close like that. I've got my can up, boom, and I'm just going down, just like that. And it sort of dusted a little bit. So you guys can see here, boom. I hit that, it's like a little star. We're not trying to get that close, but what we're doing is we're going higher above it, boom, and just lightly dusting it, right? Lightly dusting it. We're gonna do the same thing with blue on this side. That's it, boom. And next, we're going to do some violet, because why not? That is, we're gonna do this little violet right here. Boom, same thing, dusting it just like that. Now I'm getting a little bit closer, make me some little slashes and rims like this, right? Now I'm gonna come back with my black, boom, same thing, hit that, like that, get back to my black, hit just like that. This is just really just bringing out some texture, bringing out color, and move these out there. See that? Bringing out some texture, bringing out some stuff. Now for stars, there's plenty of different ways that you can do stars. The way most people do it is they will spray some on their finger and flick. Me, I like to do the bursting movement. And I think I am completely out of white. Let's see. No, that's empty. Let's try this one more time. You might be able to get some out of here. Let's try a different cap. Sometimes it might be the cap. There we go. Same thing. I'm coming here. I'm not super close. Not too far. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come about halfway. Boom. And I'm just going to burst it just like that. It's going to drip a little bit, but that's okay. And now you got stars. You got a little cluster, stars. Maybe that's like a far off galaxy there. It's okay. Yep, that's completely gone. And I'm doing the same thing with my black here. Same thing about halfway. Boom. Just to cover up it, maybe that's a little bit farther off in the, in this space thing. And then let's turn this into like a little farther out galaxy. So let's take us a little bit of peak. Same thing. Boom. Hit it just like that. Just one little puff. And then let's do yellow. Always works in that. So we're gonna go with like a little peach or a peach for the yellow. Right, yellow. We're gonna go to this very top corner here, this top edge. Boom. there, boom. Nothing too major. If we get any overage, boom, boom. Hit it like that, come back over here. And now, to finish off some of my stars, I'm gonna come in with a gray, because we got so many colors that's working right now. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna boom, just hit like that with some of my gray, just create some of those. And I'm gonna hit this area over here with some white, if I can get any more. This corner here, because this is where my light source is coming, I'm gonna angle my can. I'm gonna angle my can just like this, turn it to the side, lay it to the side, and boom. I'm just gonna spray just like that. And then that outer edge, I'm gonna hit it a little bit heavier. That's gonna be a little bit heavier. It's gonna show our light. And then what I'm gonna do is take some, let's grab our yellow again, same thing, angle it, boom, light it there. I like that there, and we're gonna let that sit, and we're actually gonna darken that just a little bit with our black. We're gonna darken it just a tad bit, and angle, boom, darken that just a little bit. So now, then we pretty much got our background almost the way we want. We can remove these, and we have, voila, we have that. Now, we're gonna go in a little bit more. We're going to give these planets some type of glow. We gotta do our shadows with these as well. So we're gonna sit these off to the side for a brief second. We're gonna come back with our black, and we're gonna start working our way into the shadow. So this particular planet, I want this planet to be in shadow, like it's coming out of the darkness, like in our old, in the video before. Same thing with this one. Our light is coming from here, it's hitting this way, so our shadow on this planet is going to sit more on this side. So this is going to be in shadow, this little part here, and then all of this is going to be in shadow. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to work in layers. We're not going to go in super close, right? We're not going in super close. What we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to work on our bursting. You don't want to go like that. We're going to work on our burst. And we're literally just going into our burst, and we're going in layers, and we're working our way in and coming back out. Right? And so that's all we're going to do. So we're going to come in with our burst, working our way out, and working our way in that. Boom. Thing here. So giving us a really nice gradient here. So that's coming out of the darkness on this side. Same thing here. We're going down along the bottom, and our shadow over here, just like that. That's going to be just like that. And then maybe a little bit of this over here, shadow. And let's bring this over in some more, completely round that off. And now, because these both are emerging, the beautiful thing is we can actually bring a little bit more illusion out of that and brighten it up some more. So what we're going to do is going to work on our highlight. And we're literally just going to use this for our highlight. Same stencil, we're using it for our highlight. Is that dry enough? No, that's not dry enough. So let's get us a little handy dandy fan. And I'm going to fan it a little bit, help it to dry. This dries easier, like on a hot day. If it's hot, it's going to dry faster.
It dries fast pretty much. Anyway, took my mask off for a second because it is hot out here. It's almost like 80 degrees out here. Although the wind's blowing, it's still a little bit hot. But yeah, I just like to take this just to keep from pulling out the heat gun or working with my flame, because you just never know. Some things, shit happens. Like the other day, I was filming and I pretty much ruined my Courage the Cowardly Dog painting because of the flame. So yeah, I just like to take this, get me some cool air like that, and just fan it just a little bit. Nothing major. Just fan it a little bit. Let it dry on up some. And spray paint dries fast anyway, so it doesn't take long.
So I'm gonna take this and right over here, I'm really just gonna work within my shadow. I'm gonna come through with I got some ethereal yellow here. These are very translucent paints, and they work really good. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm just bringing a little bit of light right into here, in those areas where that shadow is, just to show that it's just, slightly coming into focus. And I'm gonna I'm gonna turn this back over some, turn it back over just a little bit, and see, I'm gonna dust this with a little bit of yellow. I believe this is, no, that's not yellow. There it is. I'm gonna dust this with some yellow, very lightly, and I'm gonna mind my distance here. So I'm just coming in, boom, boom, just like that. Coming with some of that, just to show. So that's coming out of that dark. I'm gonna return this, same way, return that. Come back with my black. I'm gonna hit some of those spots that I may have gotten a little bit too over. Do that again. And same thing, lightly with our black here. Just go back over it, very lightly, just dust it. Right? Gonna bring that illusion that this is coming out of the darkness. We're gonna do the same thing over here on this side. Again, we're working in our dark section. So since this is blue, I don't have any translucent blue, which kind of sucks. But we're gonna dust this with our blue, same way. We're gonna do that same thing. And I'm gonna find my angle here, boom. And I'm just hitting it very lightly. Hit it very lightly, just like that. That breaks that up there. Now I'm gonna return this. I'm gonna turn it back over again. And come back with my black once again, if I can find it. I can never find anything. Oh, there it is. Come back with my black, same thing, and just lightly dust back over what I just painted. Hit that from there. Now, again, come back very lightly, covering some of that black, that blue that I had. I'm going to cover some of that blue, just like that. I'm going to cover some of that. Now,
we gotta look at our highlights. Pull my mask down for a second. Now we gotta look at our highlights. I'm running out of white, and I don't have too many bright colors. I'm basically out of white. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get as much highlight as I can with some white.
So I'm gonna take this and see if I can squeeze as much white as I can out of here. Our highlight is here. So I'm gonna hit this. There we go. Just like that. Very quickly. Just like that. Hit it. Turn it around. Get closer to there. Yeah, there we go. Get closer to that. Boom. There we go. Again, we're not worried about no overspray right now. Boom. Hit that just like that. Same thing over here. Same thing here. Hit some highlight. And again, we're not worried about that overspray. And so now, I'm gonna create a real lighting. So I'm gonna take me another little piece of my cardboard, and I'm just gonna curve it around. And you guys may not be able to see it too well, but I'm gonna curve it around it just to give it some rim lighting. I'm just gonna hover as close as I can. I'm just gonna hover. Boom, around just like that. Give us a little bit of a rim line. I'm not worried about that overspray. And actually, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and just dust this just like that. We can go back over if we need to. Dust the outsides. Add us some more stars. Now, you guys might be thinking like, Skeeter, like, what's going on? We just did that. Well, again, it's all about working in your layers. Now I'm going to come back with this one. Since this is my red plan, I'm coming back in this one. I'm coming back with my Prometheus orange. Once again, that color we just started with. Boom. I'm going to dust it. Just like that. Dust it. Hit it like that. Let's see. Come back around some more. A little too bright for us. So I'm going to come back just like that. Bring that planet right back out. Bring that right back out. Come back with my black and thing. Make sure we got all that in there. Boom. Brings that planet right back out. Just like we wanted. Brings it right back out. Same thing with this side. We're coming back in with our blue. Coming back in with our blue. Coming over. Get our black one more time. On that side. Boom. Now that's pretty much good. Now what we need to do here is we got to do something about this little bit of an overspray that we have over here, right? We got to do something about that on both of these. So since these are our lighter sides, what we do is you just come back in with our black, and we're just lightly dusting, covering only what we need to cover. Just covering only what we need to cover. Some spots don't need to be covered, you know? Bringing it just like that, and wrapping it around. And even maybe some of this can hit, some of that black can hit right up in there. We can do just like that. Same thing here. Do just like that. Same thing. Now we're going to come back with some more of our gray. Same thing. Boom. We're just going to create that light just like that around that tank. We're going to slide this over just a little bit. Hit that just like that. And we're going to cover that edge with this gray here. So, coming back again with our black. Again, we're just layering. We're working in our layers here. Just working with our layers. Boom. That planet comes right back out. Just like we need it to. It comes right back out. So now
we can add some little fun things, some more texture things. We need some more stars actually, because we just went and covered our stars. But I'm gonna hit the rest of our stars later. So you remember this little part over here where we hit that? I gotta find my yellow. Here it is. We're gonna take some of our yellow and we're gonna make us a little star. And we're just gonna lightly, get kind of close. Boom. Just one little hit. I think that's the right yellow. No, that's peach. That's peach. Where's my yellow? I gotta clean my can. That's not yellow. That's not yellow. This is yellow. It's right here. Nope. Yep. This is it. Yep. This is it. Same thing. Boom. Give us a little star here.
Give us a little star right up in here. Just get close. Just like that. Simple. Nothing more. Nothing less. We're gonna do the same thing with this translucent orange. And I'm gonna show you guys how that looks when we hit that spot once again with that translucent orange. Where's the yellow? There it is. So I'm gonna hit that. There's that yellow right there. Here's that translucent orange. It goes right on top of it, right here. Gives us a nice, really nice color. So same thing. Hit that. Boom. Get us some little flare stuff there. Then we're gonna make us. We're gonna do a. Let's do a. I don't know. Let's do a comic. Let's do a little comic. So with our comic, we're gonna take our paper. We're gonna take our guide. Now let me actually do like a smaller piece. Let me just rip this. That's gonna work for some of our space cloud here in a second. We're gonna do a comet. And that comet, we're gonna make us a little dot. I mean, you can do this different ways. I've done it with paintbrushes. I've done it with just this. And depending on the size of the head of the comet you want, you can leave it light. You can leave it open like that if you want an open tail. If you want a more closed tail and a smaller head, about like that, you do it like that. So it sort of looks like that. So that's what we're gonna do. And if we can get some white out of here, we're gonna do it. But let's make it interesting. Let's not use white. Let's actually use. Let's use some. Let's see. Let's use. Let's try to get some white out of here. Let's try to get some more white. If we can. I don't think we'll be able to. That's completely gone. And I think this one's completely gone too. Yeah, they're both completely gone. So we're gonna have to go with a different color. So let's do yellow. Let's do yellow. So I'm keeping that pinch right there, and I'm hovering just over here. And I think I want my comet to come from this particular way. And I'm gonna keep this base flare. Keep this head here, and I'm spraying the paper, just like that. Spraying the paper. Boom. We got it going here. And let's do us a cluster. 2, 3. Just like. And then let's do another. Come right here. We're gonna get a little closer, a little farther away. Boom. Just a little closer. Hit that. Just like that. It's coming in there. And now let's do us some space cloud. I'm gonna take this same paper here. Let's see. It's gonna do. Rippage. Same thing. We're gonna take this. Just rip this. Give us some little texture here, and we're gonna take some. Pink. Take some pink, and we're just gonna hit this paper here. Boom. Just like that. Boom. Just like that. Same thing. Just like that. Another one. A little dusting. I'm gonna come back with my black. I'm gonna go back over again, working in my layers. Do that. Same thing, working in my layers, making those layers. I'm gonna come back and re-hit those comets. So let's re-hit those with our yellow. Bring those back out. Cover. Boom. Let's try to get it a little bit. There we go. There we go. Get those. Now, the last finishing touch is going to be the stars. Again, I'm going to hit these. I'm trying to force some white out of here, guys. And it's completely out. So, oh, there we go. There we go. Boom. Trying to force some white out of there. Maybe that's a little star. Replace that. And then recover that a little bit. Let's see. So, there. There we go. I'm going to hit that spot with some white. There we go. Boom. Visual collection there. And then let's hit these back. Go back over that right there because we don't need all of that. Boom. There we go. Leave those like that. That's a little thing right there. So we're gonna take our paintbrush since we got a little bit of a bigger drip than we want or really need. We're gonna take our paintbrush and we're gonna fix that by doing a little one of these, just like that. And you can do that same thing if you want to create some bigger spaces. In specs, you can do just that. So for example, let's take some of this pink right here. Spray some of that pink. Dip some of that pink around, and let's go up here in this top corner. Give us some collections, and then we just take that, and it just works as some other little stuff. And then I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna put my name on here. Do that with my paintbrush, and we're done. And that's how you do a space painting, guys. So.
Thank you guys for watching. Come back next time where I'm going to teach you how to do something else. I don't know what, but I'm going to teach you how to do something else. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.